We all know someone who's fallen for an idealized image of a woman that was projected onto them by their subconscious. We've all known people who seemed to lose their identity, falling head over heels for someone who seemed too good to be true, only to find out that this was actually the case. So why do men fall for dangerous women? Why do they fall for women who treat them poorly? And what does it mean for the psyche of these men? To answer these questions, we must dive deep into Carl Jung's concept of anima projection and the ancient myth of Persephone. Let's start with the myth of Persephone, the myth that's at the core of this entire thing. Long ago, in a realm where magic and nature intertwined, there lived a beautiful young woman named Persephone. She was the daughter of the mighty god Zeus and the queen Demeter, whose love for her child knew no bounds. One day, while gathering flowers with her companions, Persephone wandered too far and stumbled upon a nearby cave. Unbeknownst to her, this cave was the gateway to the underworld, the realm of the dead, ruled by the enigmatic god Hades. As she reached out to touch a blooming flower, the earth split open and Hades emerged, instantly smitten by Persephone's ethereal beauty. He wasted no time in abducting her and taking her down to his cavernous halls in the underworld. Persephone was understandably distraught. She cried out for her mother, and the sun refused to shine in her absence. This plunged the world into an endless winter, mirroring Persephone's own frozen heart. Seeing his realm enveloped in eternal winter and sensing Persephone's inconsolable grief, Hades offered her a choice. If she would accept one pomegranate seed, she would be bound to him and the underworld forever. Overwhelmed with despair, Persephone unknowingly ate the seeds, sealing her fate. Her mother, the earth goddess Demeter, eventually negotiated a compromise with Zeus, allowing Persephone to return to the mortal realm for 2/3 of each year. But for 1/3 of every year, she had to remain in the underworld with her husband, King Hades. Thus, the cycle of seasons was born. A perpetual dance between winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now let's dissect the symbolism within this timeless tale and understand its profound implications. The story begins with Persephone, a name that resonates with the Greek word psyche, meaning soul. She is, in essence, the personification of the soul. Her journey into the underworld symbolizes the descent of the psyche into the depths of our unconscious mind, a realm where ancient instincts and primal desires lie dormant. The cave, a place of transition, represents the threshold between the conscious and unconscious, a gateway to the unknown. It is here that Persephone encounters Hades, the ruler of the underworld. In Jungian psychology, Hades embodies the shadow archetype, the hidden, often dark aspects of our personality that we keep buried in our unconscious mind. His characterization as both enigmatic and powerful underscores the potent, sometimes intimidating nature of these unconscious elements. Hades' abduction of Persephone can be viewed as the soul's confrontation with these hidden aspects of itself. This encounter is not a pleasant one, mirroring the turmoil and discomfort that arise when we turn our gaze inward to explore our darker emotions and instincts. Persephone's subsequent despair and the world's descent into winter symbolize the emotional turmoil and stagnation that can grip us when we grapple with these buried parts of ourselves. Winter, with its barren landscapes and hushed quietude, reflects the coldness and emotional withdrawal that can accompany the repression of our shadow aspects. Persephone's act of eating the pomegranate seeds binding her to Hades can be seen as a symbolic surrender to these shadow elements. This surrender is not necessarily a defeat, but rather an acknowledgement and acceptance of the darker aspects of our psyche. By incorporating these elements into our conscious personality, we achieve a sense of wholeness and balance, much like Persephone's eventual return to the world above, symbolizing the integration of our shadow self. So now that we've understood the myth, let's apply it to the real world. You see, Carl Jung theorized that each of us carries within our unconscious mind a kind of ideal image of a woman, an archetype he termed the anima. This anima isn't just any woman, but a composite of various feminine qualities and characteristics that we have absorbed from our past experiences, primarily our childhood. It's this internalized image that Jung's argued can become the object of a man's desire. Now, in a healthy psyche, the anima remains in the unconscious, guiding and influencing a man's life without dominating it. However, Jung also recognized that there were circumstances under which the anima could become projected onto a particular woman in a man's life, leading to a state of what he called objectified love. What happens is this: a man projects his inner image of the ideal woman, his anima, onto a real woman, treating her as if she embodies his fantasy. The problem arises when the woman he's projected this onto does unalign with the fantasy or fails to live up to the ideal. Like Persephone in Hades, a disconnect emerges, causing emotional turmoil and a sense of despair, much like the winter that gripped the world in the myth. And the more a man invests in this fantasy, the deeper this despair can become, even leading to an obsession that can consume his thoughts and actions. This is the unhealthy expression of love, where the man loses himself in the object of his affection, failing to recognize her as a real person with her own needs and desires. Instead, he sees her as a mere extension of his own psyche, a living embodiment of his ideal. Now, in such cases, the woman becomes a sort of Persephone, trapped in a role that she may not have been chosen for herself. The man projects his own desires and fantasies onto her. It's effectively turning her into a character in his personal mythology, a situation that can be as distressing for the woman as it is for the man. After all, being treated as an object of someone's obsession rather than a person with her own agency can be deeply unsettling and disempowering. So what can we learn from this? First, it's crucial to recognize the power of projection in shaping our relationships. Just as Jung suggested, we often project aspects of ourselves onto others, especially our partners. We see what we want to see and feel what we want to feel in our relationships. Next, understanding the concept of the anima can help men navigate their relationships more healthily. It serves as a reminder that the woman we are drawn to may not be who we think she is, but rather a reflection of our own inner psyche. Finally, this myth and Jungian concept highlight the importance of balance in our psyche. The integration of our shadow aspects and the anima are crucial for achieving wholeness. When we fail to integrate these parts of ourselves, we risk creating imbalances that can lead to emotional turmoil and unhealthy attachments. So strive for balance, understand your projections, and integrate your shadow. That way you'll be better equipped to navigate the complexities of human relationships and hopefully avoid the pitfalls of obsessive or unbalanced love. Remember, the most enchanting love stories are not always the smoothest ones. Sometimes the greatest love comes from embracing the imperfections and complexities of both ourselves and those we love. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Your engagement helps us continue producing thought-provoking content. Thanks for watching.